live. Hey, good morning, everyone. We are live from Hack Shack Studios. This is my studio. I'm Thibert, and I am going to be talking to you for not very long. Hopefully, I can sum this up quick. It's just a little tidbit I want to get off my chest. So, if there's anybody listening, this is going out live. This is always the weird part. Type in the chat so I know you're out there. I'll wait. Yeah, so I'm still trying to. Oh, there you are. So this is working. Thank you so much. It's like checking for life, like searching for life. Like, is there anyone out there? Anyone? Yeah. So I'm using this OBS. So I'm trying not to be a boomer, but there's still so much I need to learn here. But yeah. Thanks, guys. Good morning. And yeah, it's Sunday morning. I'm usually not all bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, and ready to stream this early. But here goes. Yeah, I last night. Well, I don't know how to go into this. This is going to be interesting. I'm going to try not to make this controversial or to make this into anything bigger. But it's just a interesting. I guess an interesting observation. I'm trying to use my words carefully and not to get too heavy-handed, and I don't want to cause any more guff or grief than's already out there. But God, last week or two, I've been kind of inundated with a lot of negativity. Hello, title. Hello, everyone. Yes, this is a good response, man. For a search for life, I'm really pleasantly surprised that you guys are out there. You have no idea how unnerving this is for a guy like me. But yeah, I've been there's been some negativity thrown my way, and that's me trying to choose my words very carefully. And I'm not a controversial person. I keep my political, my religious, and most of my beliefs pretty close. Every once in a while, I do express those. Butthole of death, eater of worlds. Hey, man, that's quite a title. That's better than my title. So my title is "My life has been reduced to a buzzword / hashtag." So yeah, I'll keep kind of talking a little bit. And if you guys don't know, this is R.T. Bear, 35-year comic book veteran. I think it'll be 36 coming this year. I have been doing comics for most of my life, and I've worked on Adventures of Superman, Ultimate Spider-Man, almost every X-Men title you could imagine. I have worked on it, Batman, Detective Comics. The only books I haven't really worked on are the big team books. Like, I haven't really worked on Justice League or the Avengers. And there's one book I always wanted to work on is the Hulk, and I never got to work on that either. But you know what? I'm still young. There's plenty of time. Yeah, so Sierra Whiskey, I seen you're very what is that, controversial in the real world. Yeah. That's me, Mr. Controversial. We will kick the negativity out the door. Yeah, I mean, it's such a weird thing. I'm not a young man. I've been around. I've never really seen people act this way towards each other. I mean, maybe when I was in grade school, when I was very young, and you don't know any better. But there's a lot of people that will judge you harshly, and that will think they know everything about you based on a buzzword or a hashtag, and they'll judge you. And they don't just, Art killed a guy. No, I didn't kill a guy. Not yet. No. Yeah, but they'll judge you based on a hashtag. They'll judge you based on an affiliation. Like, even if you voted for the current president, they will judge you. And even if you associate with people that voted for the president, Donald Trump, they'll hate you and judge you based on on just associating with those people. It's like guilt by association kind of thing. And like I said, I keep my political beliefs close. As far as I know, no one knows who I voted for in the last election. Nobody really knows what my political beliefs are, and my sexual preferences. Yeah, I keep those all pretty close to the vest. I was raised that there's certain things that you don't talk about you know in good company, and those are the things. Like I talk about these things to my friends, my close friends, and things like that. But I really don't express too much of this stuff openly, and yet this negativity, this wave, still somehow is finding its way to me, based on a buzzword, a hashtag, or I don't even know what to call Comicsgate a group. I just hang out with like-minded people. That's all. I don't even labels, whatever. I don't whatever. I mean, are we children? We have to label all this stuff, and I, you know. I never thought of myself as like, oh, I'm hanging out with this group of friends, so that means that I'm this. Or I'm hanging out with this group of, another group of friends, so that means that I'm that. I'm way more than just the sum of who I hang out with. I'm way more than a group I associate with. My whole life and my whole identity isn't a hashtag. It isn't a buzzword. It isn't a group. It isn't any of those things. So people in the current climate feel they can judge you, or they can lump you in with a group of people that they don't like, and just because you associate with or happen to be a friend with, or my goodness, like you actually talk to them or whatever, then there's a problem. I don't think this way. This is so foreign to me. This is so weird to me. I don't. I am and I will continue to like whoever the hell I want. I will befriend whoever the hell I want, and I will do whatever the hell I want to do. And I will not be beholden to Comicsgate rules. If they're going to come down on me for misspeaking or doing whatever, then I'll move on. If this other group of people are going to judge me, then I'll move on. I don't need it, and I don't care about it. I don't put that much stock in it. The reason, I guess I identify, these are such messed up terms, as Comicsgate is I just like hanging out with these guys. I just like hanging out with these guys. I've hung out with groups of people in comics in the past, and nobody's judged me based on that. All those people I hung out with in the past probably had some messed up points of view, but no one seemed to care then. Why do they care now? And so it's very interesting. So I kind of prefaced it, and now I'm going to get to the story, because I probably bored you with all this stuff. Let me see if I can share this. I have to go back to OBS, and so I am going to try screen sharing. So I'm going to hit the screen share, and then I'm going to click this. So I can't read the chat anymore, so hopefully you guys are seeing this. So I've been getting DMs and Facebook Messenger messages and stuff, like I said, for the last couple weeks, and all the way down to, oh, Comicsgate is blowing up, hurrah, like people I didn't even know gave a darn about my association with anybody have been celebrating, this and gleefully saying, very hurtful things. Well, if Comicsgate goes away, if this platform that we've built for the past year goes away, that means my income goes away. I've said before, not that I have a problem with Marvel or DC. I do have a little bit of problem with Marvel, but I don't have a problem with DC. I really don't want to go back. I've done it for 35 years, and I really want to stay where I'm at right now. So, having said that, when they're gleefully talking about the death of Comicsgate and then they're so happy about this, they're also wishing hardship on me and my family and all the other people that are basically trying to build something different, trying to entertain people with their comic books, and I don't know, not trying to make a difference, just trying to have a voice, just trying to do something different, are being condemned, and then gleefully being condemned, and these people not even recognizing that we're human beings, and that this is how we're making a livelihood, and this is how we're feeding our family, putting a roof over our heads, and all those other things that are more important than a damn hashtag or an affiliation with a group. We're all human beings, for Christ's sake. This is nuts. This is absolutely nuts. So I'm not going to name names. This is who I thought was a friend, and I want to so much like explain kind of who this guy is, but I can't. He's a Comicsgate. He's a Comicsgate. I'm reading the Comicsgate hashtag here. He's a comic book fan. He loves comic books. He was a big supporter of mine in the past. Actually, I'm just going to have to say it. He's a podcaster. He's a comic book podcaster. I've been on his show a couple times. I get along with all those guys, and I enjoy going on his show. And I really like all those guys. I really, really do. And so last night, I was very proud of a panel from Black and White. It's Reed Blackett, aka Black, and he's pulling the head off of a robot. And I thought it was a really cool panel. I thought it colored up really nice, and I was very proud of it. So I did all my hashtags, but I did a Comicsgate hashtag on it because I want Comicsgate supporters to see it. I'm proud of it. I want to see, I want it to get out to as many people as possible. So, comic book fans, Comicsgate fans, all that. Not thinking much of it. I've hashtagged Comicsgate in the past and really haven't had too much problem with it. It was more of a way just to try to, people that have supported me through Comicsgate, to kind of try to focus direction towards the piece of artwork that I wanted to show you guys. That's really all it was. It wasn't like I was trying to be political, that I was trying to do, any kind of shenanigans or promote a hate group or anything like that. So I get this DM from this guy, and it says, "Art, long time no speak. I couldn't help notice your hashtag Comicsgate. Just to make sure I didn't misconstrue, are you aligning yourself with that movement?" Well, aligning myself with the movement, I don't know what the heck any of that is. I'm hanging out with friends, and we're trying to build, this new paradigm to market and sell comic books and make comic books via YouTube and Indiegogo and just cool IPs. That's pretty much it, man. As far as just like-mindedness, yeah, I'm like-minded. I like, and I believe in a lot of similar things. I think to hang out with people, you usually have some kind of commonality. So we have comic books, but there's some other things there that I agree with, and that, we find commonality with, just the same way I could find commonality with this guy or any of my other friends that don't agree with my political beliefs or my religious beliefs or so on and so on. You just agree to disagree, or you just stay friends, or you respect each other because you like each other. So anyway, I always, when I get hit with this stuff, I try to just put a mirror up, and not that I'm trying to be coy, but I said, why do you ask? Before I get reactionary, I like to find out where people are coming from and what they're thinking. So this is not me being coy. This is me sincerely trying to figure out what he's talking about, and more importantly, how it relates to me. I know that comics, I'm not naive. I know that Comicsgate comes with a certain amount of negativity as far as certain people are concerned. And quite frankly, they would be wrong. There are people that I hang out with that have views that I don't agree with, that do things that I wouldn't do. But I could say the same for anybody in the world. I could say the exact same thing. I don't agree with my wife, and I don't agree 100% on everything, but we respect each other, we love each other, so we hash it out and we work out the details, and then we find some kind of common ground. That's how rational, normal, fair-minded human beings interact. So then, he says, I saw your post and it surprised me. Surprised me, ooh, a hashtag, ooh. Given the more vocal members' bigoted and closed-minded behavior. I don't know what he's referring to. Quite honestly, I don't know what he's talking about. I really don't. Like I said, people have opinions. They're not always my opinions, but my opinions aren't always their opinions either. So people say things. We go on these YouTube live streams. We talk about stuff, and sometimes it's always live, so it's very candid. So things get said. Maybe things that some people would maybe want to take back. But to be honest, I've been hanging out with these guys for almost a year now. I don't see it. I see some missteps. I see some things that maybe they said that they'd like to take back. But overall, these guys are not filled with hate, and they're not acting out, and they're not trying to hurt anybody. Most just want to be left alone. So most of the push is coming from this side, not from us. We're just kind of reacting to the fact that there's this push. And to illustrate my point, there's this, DM. So then I say, I'm not sure what you are talking about. And at this point, I'm kind of understanding what he's talking about. But at the same time, when you ask these questions, you force people to say what they're thinking out loud. You force them to actually say what is in their heart. And sometimes when we say things out loud or we type them out, it seems ridiculous, or it seems hurtful, or it seems unkind. So that's why I like to ask these questions, because I want to hear what they actually say. And if they have any proof or if they have any facts of anything that they're saying. Because if indeed they do, I appreciate it. Give me input. Let me know in a constructive way, non-judgmental way, and maybe I can look into it. Maybe I can change it. Maybe I won't affiliate myself with it. But instead, he says this: you're obviously entitled to your own views. What views did I say? I didn't express any of my views in this DM. I just asked some questions. Hold on, I gotta get some water here. Yeah, I just asked questions. And like I said, I wasn't really being coy. So I don't want to make it seem like I'm playing a game like, oh, really? What did he say? None of that. So it's like, you're obviously entitled to your own views. I always love when people say that. Like, well, of course I am. That's a weird thing to say. It's America. I'll think whatever the hell I want, until the thought police come and shut me down, which is probably what some people would like. And then he says, but I unfortunately won't be able to support you and your work anymore. And then to make it seem like he's a good guy, he says, good day. Good day. So, he's wishing me a good day. He's a good guy. He's a nice guy. He's gonna be taking the high road here. And then before I could respond, I didn't even get to the keyboard to respond. I get, you can no longer send messages to this person. So he blocked me. So I couldn't even express my point of view. I couldn't even defend myself against the accusations. I couldn't do anything. I hope you guys are seeing this. I'm going to come back to the chat and check to see if you guys are seeing this. Like I said, I'm still working through some of these screen share things and stuff. But yeah, you know what? I'm going to go back and see, because now I'm getting a little paranoid. I think I'm paranoid. Oh, there we are. Yeah. So let me go back in. Oh no, he noticed your hashtag. Okay, you guys are getting this then. The bigoted behavior of this guy buying into lies. You're dealing with an authoritarian left. You either walk their line or you're a Nazi. Yeah, in their mind, it's a weird cult-like sickness they have where people can't be individuals. And thanks, James Hayes. And I couldn't even change his mind. You know, I thought, well, maybe we could have a conversation. Maybe I could actually, since this guy was a friend, and he did like me, and I like him, and I still like him, by the way. I'll still support his podcast. I'll still check it out. Like I said, none of this is ever going to change me. None of this, I'm going to like who I want to like, and, you know, I'm going to do what I want to do. Nobody's going to tell me who to like and who to hate. It's just not going to happen. Not with this guy. I'm going to judge for myself, just like I do all my political choices, the people I vote for, the the different amendments I vote for, the different things. I try to think for myself, and I don't always make the right move, but I do it with my heart, and I think for myself, and I take people's opinions in, I think about them, but if they don't work, then I discount them. Or if they do, then, I would be a fool not to bring them into my life. But this guy offered no creative criticism. He offered no dialogue, no nothing. He shut me down based on a hashtag. I've known this guy for over 10 years. We were friends. So he's ending a friendship over a hashtag, over a buzzword. I'm the same guy I was 10 years ago. I'm not any different. Nothing's changed. But I'm being judged harshly based on a perception of a hashtag. A perception, by the way. A perception that I don't see. I don't see firsthand. A bunch of great guys. Like I said, we take missteps. We say things. But we're human, the one of the things I like the best about it, and sometimes it plays out publicly and things like that. But everybody works things out. Everybody talks about stuff. I think the difference, and this is where I try not to get right and left and get too political. But this is the difference, I think, ideologically with the right and left. And I'm kind of talking about extreme right and left, too. Not the center. I think like I'm probably a center guy. Like I would say I'm not right and I'm not left. I just kind of think for myself. So I could go either direction. But they seem to just want to put you into a category and then judge you based on that, and then that's it. That's it. And I don't really understand it. Sometimes with these things, I feel like, the Zoolander line, I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. I feel like I'm back on the schoolyard, elementary school, and, where, you make these knee-jerk reactionary judgment calls based on how you feel, and that's kind of what the extreme left does. It's like it's a feeling platform. It's a feeling kind of movement where they express how they feel, and then they react based on how they feel. And then the right, and I'm making generals, of course, is more like, well, let's talk about it. Let's work through some of this stuff. And these are the fundamental extremes that I see. Of course, I'm narrowing everything down to a simplistic term, but that's what I see the most. And And the reason why the left and the reason this guy didn't want me to talk is because he didn't want me to humanize myself. He didn't want me to be a person. He didn't want me to be a human being, because he wanted to hate me and to judge me based solely on a hashtag. Just a hashtag. I've known this guy for a long time. Like I said, I've always been the same person. He's always been the same person. I see stuff he posts up. I don't agree with most of it, but I still call him a friend, and I will still call him a friend. I'm not going to DM anybody. I'm not going to do any of that stuff, because when it's all said and done, I would like to think that we're going to all be friends. We're all going to stay, connected, and we'll just look back and go, wasn't that silly? The witch hunt of 2019, because that's what this feels like, man. It feels like I didn't even get a trial. I didn't even get to say my word. I was condemned, and the scary thought is my daughter. Oh my gosh, she's so kick ass. She actually went to Salem. She's into like paranormal, supernatural stuff like that, and there were some art galleries. She's a painter, she's a fine artist, so she went there to try to schmooze some galleries and get into galleries, because they had these killer galleries around Halloween in October, and so they get a lot of tourists attracted people, or like Salem witch, supernatural minded people that Salem attracts around Halloween, October. So she's trying to get into some of those galleries now. So I just started thinking about the Salem witch trials and some of those things, and how a lot of those people didn't even get trials, and the mob rule would put them to death right then and there. It's a small community. It was a small community. Tempers would flare, emotions would rise, get the better of people, and then they would take action. They would take action in the courtyard, and then they would put these people to death in horrible, horrible ways. And it's harder to do that these days. It would practically be impossible to do that these days in the same way. But I do believe if this stuff was all happening real time with a group of people and a mob mentality happened, I don't think we're that far above, burning people or hanging them. I hate to say it, but that's how I feel. And I think if these things could be immediate and they could judge people, or an individual, and then they had mob rule, I think they could justify some serious damage to the human condition. And they did then, and I see this knee-jerk judgment happening right before my eyes. And I think that's why I'm talking right now, because I don't know about you guys, but this scares the shit out of me. And I just feel sometimes, hey, Mitch is in the chat. Oh, cool. Everything's fine, man. I've just been kind of getting a wave of I don't know, negativity these days. People that I've known for a long time, and it seems like they're judging me based on a hashtag, and I'm a human being. I'm way more than the sum of a hashtag, but my life has been reduced to a buzzword and a hashtag. It's absolutely insane. I'll get over it, like I said, and I don't hate anyone. Like I said, when this is all said and done, we're all going to be friends again, and I'm not going to act on this other than this little frustration that I'm airing right now. And the reason I'm doing this is just, I think, a little bit of a cautionary tale, and to kind of vent. And I'm trying to be very, very fair here. I'm not naming names and anything like that, because I don't want to start a war. I don't want to start a battle. I don't want any of that. I just want to express a point of view, and to just say, before we act, before we get to that point of even DMing somebody and expressing a viewpoint, we should think before we act, and think about, this is a human being, and there's a lot there's a lot riding. Like I said, you want to shut down Comicsgate. You want to shut down these platforms. You want to silence these people. These people are my allies. These people are who I'm dependent on to make good comic books. We're trying to do something unique here, something different. And when you condemn the group, I don't think these people think they're condemning me. Oh man, Starman, thank you so much. It'll be all right in the end. Yeah. It's all. Oh my gosh, dude, you almost brought me to tears. I'm already emotional now. That $20 kind of. Oh, geez. Thank you so much. Yeah. I've never seen anything like it. Like I said, other than when you're like 9 or 10, and you're saying these things to people, on the schoolyard, and you're making these knee-jerk reactionary comments based on how you feel. So I do think that we need to treat each other better, and we will work through this. Comicsgate is not a perfect movement, but I think what it is showing that it's a viable movement financially. That we're making good comics. We're telling great stories. I can't wait to get Black and White in you guys' hands. I am so close. Today, well, probably by Wednesday, Thursday, I'll have the last page done as far as pencils, inks. And then tomorrow, Taylor and I are going to go over, Taylor's my writing partner, we're going to go over some of the writing, and we're going to finalize the last couple pages and get those out to the letterer. So we are really, really close to getting... sorry, not dollar. Oh, yeah, I see it now. No, it's okay, man. Whatever it is, it all helps. Yeah, it's... Don't tell Art it's like 86 cents. It wasn't the dollar amount that it was just... that he actually sent me some cash and said it was going to be all right, man. Jeez. I'm kind of money grubbing with certain things, but not here. So yeah, it's interesting. It's an interesting time and place to be in. I wish nobody ill feelings. I have no hate in my heart. Whenever people come at me, like I said earlier in the week, some people have come at me, and I'm just like, I don't dislike you. I'll continue to support you and your artwork and the things you do. Some of these people I've known for 30 years that are making these judgments based on a hashtag, based on a buzzword, based on an affiliation. And I think in the end, it'll all smooth out, and they'll see that it's all nonsense. It's crazy. And yeah, hopefully it happens before, someone gets burned at the stake. That's a joke, you guys. Don't take that seriously. And so I should probably wrap this up. I would love to go over all these. Well, maybe I will spend a moment and read some of these chats. These things are flying by pretty quick. Rise Again Comics. Howdy, y'all. It's so you treat people this way. I'm sorry, Art. When negativity happens, I tune it out and I go back to work on my comics, the comics I love. And yeah, that's exactly what I will do. I'm going to take a shower after this. I'm going to wash all this negativity off my back, and then I'm going to start creating or finishing up the last page of Black and White. So yeah, this is not slowing me down. This is not doing... altering my path or anything like that. I just wanted to get this off my back and just, kind of let's just treat people better. Don't do this kind of thing. Leave this to the small-minded and the petty, and let's rise above it. What does it say? I say we should be called Bert's Bears. Ooh! From Thibert. It doesn't end well. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of like it. Title 10. Yeah. You do need a hook, so maybe that will be the hook until something better comes along. Okay, Mitch says that sucks. Sorry, anybody that would use a made-up word with no common definition to damage people. Just wants to damage people and found social acceptance, acceptable verbiage. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I don't clearly understand it. Most of the people that are really close to me and loved ones and stuff don't understand it. Maybe it's always been there, and maybe with social media it's coming more to a head, and people, because I don't think this guy would say these things to my face. I don't think some of this stuff that's been coming my way the last 2 weeks people would say to my face. So there is kind of a certain detachment, with the internet and stuff. So it may actually make it easier for people to be like this, because there's not a lot of accountability. But I think in the long run, if they start, defriending and cutting people off and cutting alternate points of view off without any explanation, I think in the long run it's going to hurt society, and it's going to hurt them as an individual. There are things that are said to me that hurt, but like I said, I take it into consideration, and if there's truth to it, I'll adapt, and if there's no truth to it, I'll discount. So we have those choices. But sometimes when people do negative things to you, I would teach my daughter, I say, this is a chance to learn. This is now, what that person can say and what that person can do and what they think. So when they say these things to you, they're kind of doing you a favor, because now you know what side you're on. You know where you stand with these people. So even that you can take a positive out of. So anyway, Art, the link to Chrono Mechanics doesn't work. Okay, after this I'll put it back into the description. So thank you so much for that. And yeah, I have a pre-launch page for Chrono Mechanics. I have a tentative date for the end of this month, but I seriously want to get into fulfillment mode, like way into fulfillment mode on Black and White before I really launch another campaign. I can do it, but it's just kind of, I want to instill trust in you guys, and it's been a long wait, it's been a long road, and I want to make sure that you're happy with the product that I did before I launch the other one. It will be killer, but it's going to be completely different than Black and White. Chrono Mechanics is they're time repairmen, so it's kind of Looney Tunes meets Hanna-Barbera. Looney Tunes, sorry, I was thinking the visual is Hanna-Barbera. It's like Looney Tunes meets H.G. Wells. So it's a cartoon comedy premise with time travel. So just to show you how kind of silly and broad the humor is, time is a big machine. It's literally a big machine that was built into the very fabric of time and space itself. So when the universe was created, this machine was built into the fabric of it. So it's always been there. And it's literally a machine, like a V8, combustible engine, combustion engine, I should say. And so it's old, and it breaks down a lot. And there's all kinds of components to the machine. There's the cooling system. There's the electrical. There's all the things that you have in a basic mechanical engine. And so then this engine is time. And so we have repairmen, because the engine is a machine and it's old. It breaks down quite a bit. So we have a company called Chrono Incorporated that was built, and they were basically given the responsibility to make sure that the machine is repaired and maintained. And so what they do, what Chrono Inc., the company, does, is they hire people from various timelines, individuals that are kind of advanced for their timeline. So like we have a caveman, but he's not just a caveman. He's a prehistoric businessman. He has the cave condo. He has he dabbles in inventions. So he's working on the wheel. He's not sure what it's for yet, but he's kind of working on it. And then he claims that he's discovered or has invented fire. Although people question that, they think it was an accident, and it probably was, but I'm not going to tell you. You're going to have to read the book to find out. And so then there's a Renaissance inventor Caravaggio, who's based a little bit on the real Caravaggio, Renaissance painter. And so he gets pulled from his timeline. And so then there's this character from a made-up timeline. His name's Zen, and Zyn, Zen. And so he's from a made-up timeline. He's an alien, but he's kind of like, he's really advanced. He's metaphysical. He's a peacekeeper. He's kind of like a prophet. So he has a mantra. He has a belief that he preaches, and it's called the Me, Myself, and I, and it's based on the Trinity Gem. Like I said, you guys don't take any of this stuff seriously. This is all really fun stuff. The Trinity Gem principles of the Me, Myself, and I, and so the Me, Myself, and I are kind of like a self mantra, where you can take care of yourself. You can be all to yourself, and by strengthening oneself, they can go out and make the world a better place. So that's basically Zen's philosophy. So then this story that we're going to tell with the upcoming book is an origin story of a new recruit. His name is Doug, and all I'm going to basically say is Doug is a 20th century. It's hard to say because we're in the 21st century now. He's a 20th century slacker rocker. And so it seems like it's a mistake that he's been recruited, but you'll find out during the course of the story how he fits in and why he was recruited, that he has like hidden talents that no one knows about. So that's kind of the premise of the chronomechanics story, and there's plenty of tales that I have that I would like to if this does well, that I'd like to continue with. And so that's my pre-launch right now. So it's chronomechanics, and I was told the pre-launch page is not working, so I will put it back into the description. So hopefully after I sign off, give me a couple minutes and I'll put a fresh tag in there, or link, and you guys can go there and sign up for the pre-launch. The pre-launch also will give you access to exclusives. So we got some exclusive ideas that we are going to come up with, or that we're coming up with, and it's going to be super cool. The id, like a super ego, you get it, comic book Bob. Yeah, it's going to be, chromecast is going to be a blast. It's completely different. The reason I slipped up and said Hanna-Barbera earlier is because, like, visually it's kind of a Hanna-Barbera meets Mobius. So it's kind of, I think the Hanna-Barbera designs are really, really cool. I think the animation, they were on a limited budget, so it is what it is. But I thought a lot of the designs are cool. And so the Chrono designs are based on a lot of early Hanna-Barbera stuff. And then I always liked a lot of the French artists. I liked the rendering. I liked the illustrative quality. So I brought like an illustrative quality, like a Mobius style ink work or line work over the Hanna-Barbera type style. And I think it's pretty unique. I really think it's cool. So it's hyper detailed Hanna-Barbera type artwork, even though I'm not aping Hanna-Barbera. I mean, they're my own designs, but I think that's the best or easiest way to explain it, is that. So I'm really looking forward to getting that book out to you guys, and it will come out in a way more timely fashion. I'm partnering with people so I can kind of wear less hats and concentrate on the overall getting the book done, versus having to do everything myself, which is very, very time consuming. And as far as Black and White's concerned, I appreciate you guys being so patient with me on this. And the book looks incredible. If you guys want to, you can go to my Twitter and see a black and white panel that I posted up. It's fully colored and everything, and that will give you an idea of what the book is going to look like. And that's also the one that got me into this trouble that I'm talking about now. So anyways, we will prevail. Stay positive, you guys. Be cool. And like I said, check back. I'm going to I'm going to put a new link in the description, and hopefully that'll work for you guys. So thank you so much. Thanks for tuning in so early, and you guys have a wonderful day. And I'm going to see if I can end this stream without any problem. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Hanna-Barbera, yeah, meets Mobius. Mind blown. Yes, that's a great way to go out. So thanks again, guys, and I'll talk to you soon.